Hello, so in this video I'm going to showcase you how to utilize MCP. It's going to be through Cursor. So basically if you go in settings, Cursor settings, here you have different options. So MCP, here you have MCP tools, right? And for example, you can connect to GitHub, Slack and so forth. I have something in Docker as well set up, as you can see here. And you can add a lot of MCP connections. For example, Docker host, but then you should actually log in through here. Here I already did Circle CI connection. And there are a few other things that I will possibly make in another video, but that's not what I'm gonna be covering here. So why use it? Basically for possible logs, to know what's happening in the system. For example, this is my actual MCP setup, right? And this one is through basically Supabase, right? Here you can as well have AWS, quite simple access key and secret access key. This is just a test case scenario. But so for example, if I'm now gonna remove this one, and this, for example, in Supabase, let me just go through that shortly. Here you have the basically the project reference. All of them use the same access token, and where to find it is quite simple. You just go here, account preference, access token. You just generate the access token, and then you paste it here, right? Access token. So let's see, for example, what we can do here. Can you tell me how many databases have in Supabase through? Here I can just highlight this one, and let's because this is basically the key. Let me just copy this one. Is development, and if there are any suspicious logs. So here basically it calls. Here it as well calls logs. Here it did actually connect through it because it goes through all the system configs. As you can see here, because I connected to the MCP through the Supabase, right? One of my projects that I passed in the project ref. Remember in Supabase at least, like, there's just one access token, right? And if you have multiple databases, you just create the key, this one, for example, and then the project reference as the database reference and the access key, right? And here you can see it says one main database, profile, groups, tickets, and ticket conversation. Now we can get all the logs that you will as well see inside Supabase, right? And so forth. So I would say this is quite useful if you want your LLM to figure out what's wrong and possibly advise you in something if, like, code-wise everything is handy dandy. And for example, you can as well add new one easily. Here I can reconnect to Slack. For example, here allow. Link account. Here is just linking. I need to manage connection. of the link to GitHub. Oh yeah, for example, GitHub, all repositories. I need to give access to it. But anyway, that's basically the gist of it. There are as well like options to add like background agents, rules, network. So there's a lot of room to go through. When it comes to MCP tools, for example, can I new tool, but then like you have to manually add them, as I showcased before. You can see like Docker host, AWS, Azure and so forth, right? And then for example you can get the as it showcases here, info and so forth, right? So it's just still quite a new technology, and yeah, in my case it became quite useful, and hopefully learn something for the day, and possibly cover other MCP options like through Docker, but that on another video. So see ya.